Guess what? I'm back and I'm doing it live. And I've got a special guest that's going to be making things some fun. Yeah. First off, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's make sure. Do I have my mic on? Yeah, I've got my mic on. I've got my camera on. I just want to welcome everybody to the Shawnee Poo Tube live stream. I'm incredibly excited to be here, and I'm excited to be here today. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. Before we start off, comment down below. Tell us where you guys at. Tell us where you're from. I'm in the White Mountains up in Arizona. Woo! Tell us where you go. Yeah. Today's topics. We're going to talk about my first live stream. We're going to talk about book update. I've got special guest Joseph D. Newcomer. Woohoo! Hang on. We got to Yes. After the Q&A interview with him, I'm going to do some reading for you guys. I'm going to read something to you. And then after that, we're going to close off with a little bit of a drawing. Okay. Yeah. So, before we jump into all that, let's check the chat real quick. Looks like we've got Mad Hotter from AZ. Woohoo! Hello, how you doing? Anyways, so let's get on to where are we at. I want to make this is what I need to do. This is all new to me, so no, this one. Let's go. I want to say thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Your support means the world to me. I couldn't have done any of this without all you guys. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And then there is a few announcements. Before we start the show, the first thing is to like and subscribe. Yes, you have to like and subscribe. In fact, I am working my way. I'm on the road to my first 100. Yes, my first 100. Woo! In all seriousness, it's really 1,000. And when I hit 1K, we'll do like a 1K giveaway or something like that. You guys can help me with it, hopefully. So hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Let me see. Do I have a notification bell? Yes. Hit that notification bell. Just so you can, when I'm going to go live and stuff. All right. Next up. Also, I already talked to you guys the last time. I have a members only page on SeanSauter.com. It's special access. Let's give it a little hand clap. Yeah. To get access to the members only, you must be a part of the Shawnee Poo crew. The way to do that is to go to SeanSauter.com, scroll to the bottom, and sign up now. You'll have access to downloadable coloring pages as well as character and story mat templates. Plus, you'll not only be able to read the first 2 chapters of my debut illustrated children's chapter book, you'll also be the first to know when it comes out live on Kickstarter. Woohoo! So you guys got to make sure and sign up for that. Next up, on the road again. Yes, I'm on the road. Been on the road. I've been tabling at a lot of events. In fact, the last event I did was at Free Comic Book Day. It was actually, let me correct myself. It was in downtown Glendale. It was at Drawn to Comics, one of the greatest comic book stores in the universe. It's great. It's fantastic. They had Free Comic Book Day Festival. I was able to get set up there, and Oh my, we had a blast. Ken, Susan, they throw the grandest, and I mean grandest events in downtown Glendale. Let's see what else. The next stop I've got. I'm trying to think. The next stop that I have, oh, that's the problem. I don't have an image for this, but um my next stop, can you guys guess? Oh, hang on. What does this say? I signed up, so I'm excited and can't wait. Great job, Matt Hatter! Yes, you guys got to sign up. But do you guys know where I'm going to be tabling next? You guys probably think Phoenix Fan Fusion, right? No. I'm not going to Phoenix Fan Fusion. Unfortunately, I would love to, but with things changing, I live a lot farther, about 4 hours away from Phoenix, so things had to change. But I, instead of Phoenix Fan Fusion, on June 2nd and 3rd, I'll be attending the Artist and Author Expo at the Dome in the small town called Springerville, Arizona. It's up near Sholo, AZ kind of area. So if you're not going to Fan Fusion, just like myself, and you're up in this area and you need something to do, head over to Springerville. It's going to be a great time, I think. I think it's going to be fun. And then what else? Oh, yeah. So if you guys go, stop by, say hi. Next up, I'm on Instagram. Give us a follow. Follow us on Facebook. I think it's at Sean Sauter. I'm not too sure, not too sure. Also, we have book merch. Let's flip it. We've got book merch, yo. Yeah. Check out the link below and head over to SeanSauter.com to get your merch on. Yeah. And then, without further ado, after that thoroughly long-winded introduction, let's finally get into it. Let's get into it. So, before we bring on the interview, the great, the amazing Joseph D. Newcomer, before we bring him on, let's first talk about the live stream that I recently did. My first ever live stream. To start things off, it went rocky. Yes, it did. It went really rocky. In fact, you know how you have a thumbnail, a YouTube thumbnail that you click on? At 2 hours before the live stream, I was still trying to come up with the thumbnail. And in fact, I was pulling my hair out. I was looking like this guy right here. I was freaking out. It took hours. I was panicking. But I pushed through. I kept my cool, even though it doesn't really look like it right there. But I try to keep my cool. I'm proud of what I came up with because I did actually finish something. And I did learn something. This is something that I learned. Hang on. This is something. Let me see. No, I do not have something.
Bruh.
Come on, Sean. Anyways, what I learned was pretty much if I'm going to do these live streams and I'm going to do thumbnails, obviously, I've got to do it 24 hours in advance. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, woo! Yes. No. I meant probably this. Yeah. Anyways. But I got done with it. And so I have my little thing. I like my hot cocoa. And so it's 30 minutes before I'm going live. I'm thinking, I've got plenty of time. I live in a small town. Wildfire, espresso, and smoothies right down the street. They're always quick. They're just quick about things. So I just figured 30 minutes, plenty of time, right? No, that was not the case. I drove over and they were swamped. And then, have you guys ever had it where you drive in, then you decide, okay, I'm going to get out of line? Well, then I got trapped and then I was stuck. So then I had to stay in the line. So then I placed my order and it's waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And finally I get it. And I'm still looking like this image right here. I am still like panicking, looking at the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But eventually I did get my hot cocoa. I rushed home. I rushed home. And there was 5 minutes to spare. 5 minutes. So I frantically jumped on, and yeah, like it was very interesting. And what did I learn? The question should be, what did I learn from all that? I'm I'm not quite sure because I love my hot cocoa. So I don't know. I really don't know what I learned from all that, other than probably go out sooner. I don't know. Not too sure. But I struggled with the controls. I don't know. I totally understand why people have moderators, people helping out. Because if I could just look at you guys, talk, and not have to, start touching some of these buttons, it would be oh so smoothly. But I got through it. I hung in there, and actually, I tried to do this whole story soundboard thing, like what you guys are hearing right now. These things, evidently, I thought it was playing through for everybody, and it was only playing through my silly speakers. So here I am, like, oh yeah, yeah, people are clapping for me, and it's the people viewing. I don't think you could hear too much, and but anyways, I had fun. All this is for the greater good, for my debut of my illustrated children's chapter book. Yep, that's what it's all for. And speaking of my debut children's book, let's check in and find out what the update is on the status of the Shawnee Poo book. Let's find out. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Before we can find out, looks like we're making Mad Hotter laugh. Yep. Okay. Well, okay. Let's go to the book update. So recap, just so everyone's on the same page. And once we're done with this, I'm gonna bring on our guest. I promise. So let's take away this. Oh no, darn it! I wasn't supposed to do that. Silly me. Anyways, so I wrote my book. Then I had a couple of critique partners help get it to be better, because I'll be honest, my first draft was not that great. So I had some critique partners help me out. Once we got it to the best of our ability, we brought on 6 beta reader moms. Yes, we did. I just had to know, do I have a story? Do I have something? Am I just crazy? So we had 6 moms beta read. They loved it. It's got action, adventure. It's got humor. It's got heart at the end. I'm really proud of it. I really am. After that, I want this book to be as professional as I can get it. So I hired a pro editor. I did. I want it to read well. I want it to present well. I don't want anyone to read it and think, this was independently published. So I hired a pro editor. And that's where we kind of leave things off. Now that we're all caught up. So the pro editor, guys, I got some news. My pro editor, they stole my script. Yep. No, just kidding. No, no, they didn't steal my script. I just wanted to be silly, but no. The news is this: the pro editor is finished. And I mean finished. I've got my script back. I am excited. I am woohoo. I'm over the moon. I am just I'm happy. I've got my script back. And do you guys want to know what the pro editor had to say? Not only about the script, but the whole story as a whole. Do you guys want to know? Well, you got to sign up for the monthly newsletter so you can become a part of the Shawnee Poo crew. And then you can find out all the important updates, like what the pro editor said about my story. So go over to SeanSauter.com. You got to sign up. And yeah, you got to head over there. So next up, I am so excited. I am. I'm done with I'm done with editing. I can't wait. I'm gonna just put a squeeze on this. So I'm not saying too much, but sign up so you guys can find out because the newsletter's coming out next week. It's gonna be good, I promise. Anyways, I cannot contain myself. I know. And speaking of excitement, we've got a special guest. Yes, we do. Let's go into my notes. Let's see. I would like for you guys to meet. Oh, let's take this off here real quick. There we go. I would like for you guys to meet Joseph D. Newcomer, an accomplished author of both speculative and literary fiction. He's also the founder and owner of Dead Star Press, where he works tirelessly to bring exciting and thought-provoking content to readers worldwide. Born in 1980 in Erie, a blue-collar city in northwest Pennsylvania, Joseph has always had a passion for storytelling. He currently resides in Arizona, where he continues to write follow-up novels to his debut work, El Camino Blue, as well as his second novel, Diminishing Return. Additionally, Joseph has released a promotional collection of his blog posts titled Thought and Other Absurdities through Dead Star Press. He is an amazing father to his daughter Ari and a devoted partner to his girlfriend Andrea. They have two dogs, Harvey, a boxer, and Cooper, a coonhound. Coonhound. He just released his second children's book. It's titled Ari and the Armpit Mouse. Folks, I give to you the one, the only Joseph D. Newcomer.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me, Sean?
Yes, I can. Yes,
Oh,
I can.
excellent. All right. That was some introduction. I don't know if I can if I can match that energy ever.
I've got to spice it up, man. Got to spice it up. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. You're
Thanks
my
for having
first.
me.
Well, no, man. Like you got a brand new book coming out, Ari and the Armpit Mouse.
Pretty
Oh
excited
my
about
gosh.
it.
Oh my gosh. So let's see. Before we get started, if you have any questions for either Joseph D. Newcomer or myself, please leave them in the comments right away. Wait a minute. Actually, hang on. We've got something here.
Boxers are the best, by the way.
They are. They are. Looks like stole your script. Oh, that was a little far back. Sorry, Mad Hatter. And then boxers are the best. See, yes.
Yeah,
They
we
are
had
the
a
best.
Harvey was our boxer. He passed away sadly, but he was an awesome dog. But now we also have a new dog named Charlie. We have to update our profile apparently.
Oh, you
Uh,
definitely do.
we got him on Christmas. He was a stray. We just took him in, and his name is Charlie Christmas.
Charlie Christmas.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I love it.
He's pretty awesome.
That's really cool.
We love dogs. We actually just saw some video of at Halo Rescue. There was a mom boxer with it looked like 30 puppies underneath of her, and Andrea was like, can we go get all of them? I was like, absolutely not, because we can't have 35 dogs at our house. But
no,
boxers are worth it. If you go to Halo and adopt those dogs, they're awesome.
Yeah, we need to get a dog up here. I mean, we're up in the White Mountains, and a good dog. I think a good boxer.
Yeah, you seem like a dog guy. You guys don't have a dog?
No, we don't actually.
Have you ever? You ever had dogs?
When I was a kid, yes, little
Yeah.
fluffy. But I've got
Everybody's
allergies.
gotta have a dog.
Yeah, I've got allergies and stuff. So
yeah, that's rough.
That's been our thing. But before we get started, I want to go back in time because I think, yes, here we go. Before, I want to know how it all got started with Joseph D. Newcomer. So, what was it like? what was it like growing up in Erie? I want to know, because literally,
Cold.
yeah, I bet. I looked it up and I'm like, wow. Like, I don't know if it's a lake or whatever, but you're right across from Canada, right? Is that
Yeah, I
correct?
mean, you can see Canada on a clear day. Erie is a very blue collar town, and it's cold, like uh, pretty much 3/4 of the year. Summers are awesome, falls are amazing, uh, but I mean, it's a great place to be from, and I love going back and visiting, and I have a ton of friends there. But I definitely prefer the Phoenix winters, that's for sure.
Oh, Phoenix winters are the best. I'm definitely
Right?
discovering.
Uh, but how did I get started? I didn't really care that much about writing when I was really young. I was always into comic books and stuff like that. But uh, my senior year of high school, I met my senior English teacher. His name was Bill Hetrick, and he just uh, he he was just better at making at finding what you liked and what you would get excited about. And he read some writing that I had to do for class, that was miserable for me. And he was like, listen, he's like, I think this is really good. He's like, I don't understand why you don't write all the time. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. And he was like, no, no, I mean, like this, you could turn this into a book. And then he gave me a book. And most teachers, they don't, they're going to give you what is assigned, like what's part of the curriculum. And maybe he stepped out of bounds here, but I mean, it really meant something to me, and I think maybe he just knew that it was going to work. So he gave me a copy of a book that most literary people aren't going to be real excited about then, but now people are starting to respect him a little bit more for his writing and his artistic endeavors. But Ethan Hawke's first book was called The Hottest State, and he put that in my hands, and it was like, he's like, you write like him. He's like, this is
Really?
very similar. And it was a coming of age story about an actor in New York. And what I was writing was a basically a diary of what was a journal of what was going on in my life at the time. And he was like, there's so many parallels. You'll see it as you read it. And I read it and I was blown away. I was like, ah, this sounds like like me. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And so from that point on, he started suggesting other books for me. And the second author that I read, which has been my favorite author for a long time, is Kurt Vonnegut. He gave me, I think he started me with Slaughterhouse-Five, and then maybe Cat's Cradle or something. But Vonnegut totally changed everything for me, and I wanted to write like that. My first book is literally that journal that I wrote in high school. El Camino Blue is a very very close to reality account of my life when I was 17. It's kind of like if you took, and not to compare myself to writers that are much better than me, but if you took Catcher in the Rye, you wrote it in the 90s about a kid in high school, it might have some, it might feel like that.
Gotcha.
So but then after that, I didn't really do anything with it. I tried to publish it for a little while, and then I moved around, and I stopped worrying about it. I worked a lot. I worked tons of jobs all the time. Too much time to be working to get anything else done. And then I found a job that I was able to like settle in, and I didn't have like stuff to do all day, and I was only working like 40 hours a week. And that's when I moved to Phoenix, and I was like, wow, I mean, maybe I can get back into this book and see if I can and publish it. And publishing had become so much easier than it was the years prior when I was younger.
Oh,
And
definitely.
yeah, like Amazon totally changed the game.
It
So
changed the game. Like
yeah, I mean,
before.
I when I was younger and I wanted to publish El Camino Blue, I couldn't find a publisher. I got a couple people interested, which was really cool, and very complimentary. That the people that published the Harry Potter books actually had something very nice to say about my book, which blew my mind. But then it would cost like $5,000. You'd get like 200 books, and then you'd have to figure out how to sell them. And now it doesn't cost you anything. You
Exactly.
you can distribute worldwide, and it's not on you at all. But yeah, so I started working this job. I was only working 40 hours a week, and honestly, it felt like time had stopped for me. Like nothing was happening. And that's when I started writing my second book. I published El Camino Blue and immediately started writing Diminishing Return, which is about a paused reality in the future where people are so obsessed with nostalgia and time travel and all these things that no one's living in the present and time stops. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's the impetus of that was sitting in that office going, what, like, how is time moving so slowly at this point? Now I have a kid, time is going crazy fast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know how that is.
When you're younger, it's just like, oh my gosh, can I just become an adult? And then as you become an adult, it's like, can I just go back to being a kid?
Yeah, slow it back down. So I published Diminishing Return, and I did pretty well with it. It ended up in like some Amazon Hot 100s and things like that. And then I started writing another book called Darkest Day, and that's my latest novel. That's a dystopian future where there's an Elon Musk kind of character who's saved the world from this catastrophic event, and he might not be all he's cracked up to be, but the story centers around a couple who are having a difficult time having kids, and so there's a lot of heart in it too, but it really is about how it's not a great thing to base all your whole life on any one thing. So people that for me in my life, I found that like if you're only concerned about religion, that's probably not a great thing. If you're only concerned about technology, that's probably not a great thing. So you got to kind of find some middle ground, but there's a lot of that in there, and it really kind of feels like Twilight Zone mixed with the movie Office Space. Are you familiar with that movie?
Office Space, yes.
My
stapler, yes.
Exactly. There's very similar characters in it that I didn't realize I was writing it so similar until like I was halfway through, but it really is an homage to that movie and to the Twilight Zone, which is one of my favorite things in the world, and kind of inspired a lot of what I do with the press. Anything we love to publish anything weird, really. So
Gotcha. So
can I talk? You want me to talk longer about that?
No, go ahead.
I feel like I'm saying too much.
No. Like that's what this is all about, man. It's your red carpet ride. Woohoo! Let it flow, let it go. But I mean, so let's rewind back. What brought you back to AZ again?
It was a lot of job changes, really.
Just job changes?
Yeah. So when
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
When I was in Pennsylvania, I was running a nightclub, and I worked for the owners for years, and they loved me, and I'd never even taken a vacation or anything. So when they sold it, they told me like, come down to Florida and live in our condo and see if you like it. So I moved down there, and then I got like kind of regular jobs or whatever. I ended up working with some restaurants, and then I moved into comedy clubs, which was really cool. I did a little transferring around a little bit, Houston back to Florida, but then I got in with the comedy clubs, and they wanted me to come out here and open Tempe Improv and then oversee Tempe Improv and Stand Up Live in downtown Phoenix. It was an awesome job. I met so many really cool people and comedians and all that stuff. But it was a ton of work, and I was working, insane hours. I could never have a kid and work those hours and spend any time with them. So once I moved over I started working for U-Haul, and now I work for people that own it now. I don't work technically for U-Haul anymore, but this is a job that's allowed me to have some sort of life again, and I'm really grateful for that.
That's really cool. So with your newest creation, your children's book, Ari and the Armpit Mouse,
it's a new, totally new facet of everything that I'm doing. I never thought I'd write kids books, but you have a kid, and then you're like, what better way to connect with your kid than to, instead of reading only books that other people have written, instead of that, like make books for them, that you'll think that they'll specifically enjoy. So I made a book called Let's Make S'mores. That's just fun. And I try to, even in the kids' books, I try to have some sort of social commentary. I always loved how Dr. Seuss had that in everything that he did. And mine are a little simpler. They're not, but they're for a younger age. So I really went with diversity and inclusion and like the benefit of that, and how everybody has something unique to contribute to any situation. And that's what Let's Make S'mores is about. It's really just some kids camping, and they find out that they can make s'mores because they all have the different ingredients. It's a cute story and a great kind of thing for little kids. And then while I was writing that, I also wrote Ari and the Armpit Mouse, because Ari had a really hard time. This is like my favorite story to tell about any of my books. And it's like a 20-page kids book. But Ari had a really hard time staying in her bed when she was like between the age of 2 and 3. And Andrea and I, were parents of an only child. It's our first kid. And we didn't, you can read so much and you can take so much advice, but really you just got to figure out what works for you. And so I came up with a story that I thought would be helpful. And I told Ari, I'm like, there's this little mouse that lives in your room. And when you come into our room, first of all, the mouse climbs up on your bed. He sleeps in your armpit, and and he snuggles up there, and that's what keeps him warm. I'm like, if you're not in there, he doesn't have any place to sleep, and he's sad and he's lonely. And not everything I say to my kid connects, like, I mean, you got to know that you have kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You can talk your ear off, talk their ears off, and maybe 1 or 2 words get through, but for some reason, this thing she just grabbed onto it, and she took it in a completely other direction. Like, she went off with it. She was telling me stories about Squeakers, the armpit mouse. She named him Squeakers, and she's telling me about how he has his family and they're causing trouble, and they're doing all kinds of naughty stuff. And it was really fun. And I think it's a really big part of how our connection works. And I told her that I wrote this book, and I read her, well, way before we had any art or anything like that. And she just loved it. And she was like, ever since then, she's been asking, when's the book coming out? When are we going to have somebody try it? And I mean, literally, she's now 6. So she's been asking for it for a solid 3 years. And finally, I was able to connect with Andy Carrion, who I worked with at U-Haul. And he's a phenomenal comic book artist, as you are well aware of.
Whoa.
What?
Wait a minute.
Backwards.
Whoa. You worked with Andy Carrion?
I did.
No, hey, I didn't know this. This is this is new info.
Andy works in the art department at U-Haul, and like, you see all the amazing art that's on like the side of the trucks. It'll be like I forget what they call them, but that'll be like specific to whatever state they're talking about or whatever city they're talking about. And they have this really cool graphic designs on the sides of the truck. I mean, and just the regular stuff, like the logos and all that stuff. There's a lot of art involved in any business like that. And Andy is one of the people in the art department that makes all that happen. I mean, it's easy stuff for him. I mean, you've seen him draw, like, you know what he's capable of.
His stuff is amazing. I was actually surprised. I did not know. I mean, this is amazing art. I love it. I was introduced to his fantasy art. His fantasy art is just gorgeous, breathtaking. I mean, as an artist, yes, I'm jealous. Andy, I'm jealous. Andy, I'm jealous of you, bro.
I mean, you guys have very different approaches, I think, and they're both so cool. And like I even told you, when I talk to people about how I wanted s'mores to be, I actually said your name. I was like, I wanted to have Scotty Young, Sean Sauterfield. So, like, go to this website, look at this art, and like that's how I got the s'mores art out. And then Andy saw what I liked in the s'mores, and then he did something different. He made it. it wasn't as defined, but it's like cuter. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it,
I
but
love it.
I loved it. As soon as he's like, I'll sketch something up, and if you like it, cool. If not, we'll try something else. Every single thing he did, I was like, oh, this is
spot on every
this
time.
is perfect.
That's Andy.
So yeah, the art came together, and then it was a great process. I mean, looking at the art like as it progressed, and he went from like sketches to coloring and inking, and Ari every step of the way was just so ecstatic. And when we actually finally got the book in her hands, she was blown away. It was the cool thing is one of the different ideas I got while I was going through this process, which I didn't really think I would ever be so deeply involved with. I was like, oh man, the black and white sketches are so cool. Like I like them just as much as I like the colored ones. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, we'd be crazy not to put a black and white version of this out. And then I was like, well, no, let's make it a coloring book. Because what is going to get a kid more involved with reading something if they're putting the art in it themselves?
Exactly.
So I was like, we got to do this. And Andy was all for it. So
multifunction. You get a story out of it, but you also get to color it yourself. You get to color it your way.
Yeah.
Not Andy's way.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be so fun. And we have our release party coming up on Saturday from 12.
Yes. Speaking of which, let me put that in the chat. There goes a link for everybody. It's in the chat. It's all right there. Go ahead. Let's hear about it this coming Saturday.
It's Saturday from 12 to 4 at the Joy Lush Club, which is right on the northwest corner of, sorry, not great with direction, northwest corner of Central and Camelback in Uptown Phoenix. It's a really cool place. If you remember where All About Comics was, it's in that same little plaza. And one of the things we're going to do at the party is have a coloring contest. So we printed out like 3 different pieces of art from the book, and kids will get to color and they'll win prizes. And we'll do all kinds of prize raffles and stuff like that. If you purchase, you'll get tickets to enter these raffles. I've got all kinds of stuff going on. We're going to do like, we have giant Jenga all over the place. So you'll be able to play and you'll be able to win those giant Jengas. There's a $100 gift card for Modern Oyster Bar Chop House in Scottsdale, which is an amazing restaurant, nominated for in 5 different categories for this Phoenix Magazine Best of the Valley. I'm also nominated for author if you want to go vote. We have the guys right next door to Joy Lush Club. It's a Lego business. They're called Bricks and Minifigs of Central Phoenix. They made these custom armpit mouse builds. So they're so cool. They're like really small, but they're like 20 pieces, and you'll be able to win. They'll have 3 of those as part of the prizes, but they'll also be there for sale for like $6, which is nothing. They're so cute. There'll be other Lego builds as prizes as well. We have, if you buy anything, you're going to get a $5. You'll get a coupon for Drawn to Comics, which is where I take Ari to get her comic books, which is where we just had free comic book day. Maybe we should talk about that at some point too, about what I do with her. But yeah, you'll get 5 free comics from their clearance bins. You'll have to go there before the 19th though, and then Bricks and Minifigs is giving everybody $5 gift certificates to use at their store. There's so much. Oh, I got these. This is so funny. I found these miniature mousetrap games that you literally have to play with tweezers because they're that big. So those will be prizes. Man, I know I'm forgetting some stuff, but it's going to be great. There's a taco cart. I mean, what else do you need? And for the adults, there's beer and wine, because it's Joy Lush Club is actually a beer and wine local place, but it really has the atmosphere of a coffee shop. So it's great for the kids. It's a totally family friendly event. So I hope everybody will come out and hang out. I know you're coming.
Yes, I'm coming. But I mean, you got me at the tacos. But what?
I had the tacos. The person that's bringing the tacos, I had their tacos a few weeks ago, we went and did a trivia night at Joy Lush Club, and their tacos are phenomenal.
Oh.
Especially I think the chicken ones were like just out of this world. But yeah, good. Sorry about that. I interrupted you.
Pollo, so good. So tell us, what's it like? Like you're okay. So you self-publish. You've got your own imprint, Dead Star Press, right?
Yeah.
Tell us what it's like owning your own business. You're a business owner. You are.
I mean, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like I'm I don't know, like I found just a new way to spend my money. But it was here's you want to all the backstory to that? I can tell you that as well.
Yes.
Let's do it. So I was publishing my own work for years. I did the El Camino Blue Book. I did Diminishing Return. I was doing all kinds of events and things like that, just completely on my own. And I was doing all right. I on Darkest Day, I got a deal. Like somebody said, hey, we'll give you a book deal for Darkest Day. And they were a very small indie publisher, just like Dead Star Press is now. And I looked through the deal, and I couldn't have been more complimented to have somebody say that they wanted to represent my work. That's an incredible feat. I mean, it was years in the making because I didn't get any offers on my first two books. So I was honored. But the deal wasn't anything that I couldn't have done for myself. And I think I probably would have done a little bit better if I'd done it myself. And then I sat down and I talked to Andrea about it. And she was like, listen, she's like, I don't understand. She's like, I think you're thinking too small about whether or not you're going to take this or not. And she's like, you can literally do what this company's doing for people. And kind of you have some more resources than they do. And Andrea's sister is a journalism. She's got a master's in journalism. Andrea's got a master's in marketing. So she was like, we can help them market their books. We have somebody that can help edit. She's like, you can do the editing. You do art. You can do the covers. She's like, you're doing more for yourself than these people are capable of, but you could be doing this for other people as well. Yep. And I was like, I mean, that's kind of hard to argue with. And once we looked at it, and we were like, it's not something that, unless by some stroke of mad luck, somebody sells a bunch of copies or something, that you're not going to make money on it. It really is a passion project. So that's the way I look at it. I don't look at it as a business that's going to make me money. I really look at it as a business or a passion project where I can like find these incredible writers and do something for them that is so difficult to get done. Especially if you're just not the kind of person that is good at marketing yourself, because getting a book sold is all about marketing yourself. It's all about
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. You
marketing. And that's what I was going to say. Like, oh, Andrea knows marketing. That was going to be my next question. Like, how do you do your marketing? Answer.
If I have ideas, she makes it happen. That's just how we work. We wouldn't have Dead Star Press if it wasn't for her. I can't do any of the things that we're capable of. I mean, I can edit. I can help edit a book. I can design a cover. I can get it published. That's probably where it ends. She is like, I can build a website. I can make it look good. I can do all these things on social media. And so without her, it wouldn't even be possible. I mean, she does the taxes. I can't do that. That is so far over my head that it's probably should be a little embarrassing, but I don't have it.
That reminds me so much of the relationship that I have with my wife, with Harmony. There's plenty of things where I'm just like, I don't know. And she's right there.
Most of our lives are like that too. Don't get me wrong. It's not just the business. So
yeah, but she'll sit there and say, no, you can do this. All you've got to do is this, or like doing the writing thing. I've done plenty of drawing in life, but this whole writing is brand new. It's a whole new road for me. A whole new ball game. And so
I love how passionate and excited you are. I remember how I mean, I get pretty excited about all my books, but I don't think that I've ever been able. I probably hold back a little bit, but when I hear you talk about it, it's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like when I got Ari and the Armpit Mouse in my hands, or when I published my first book, and I was like, this is like a real thing, and I felt like you speak. Uh,
I'm looking
and
forward. I'm looking forward to that end goal where I've got Shawnee Poo in my hands.
yeah, I
But
mean, you're never gonna have a better feeling than that. Like you just won't. And
but
I
but
know that you are going to be able to express it, so it's going to make it even better for you. You know.
I'm just excited with the writing process. The reason why I'm so excited is I haven't done it. It's my first time legitly trying something that's start to finish, and I'm
Mhm.
going to try to publish it. Um, I'm like,
It's that is
it,
so that is people don't understand. Well, maybe they do. So often you'll see someone that wants to write a book or do whatever, and it's easy to start. It's easy to get going, and then it's super easy to talk about it. You talk about it till you're blue in the face, but there's it's those hours of grinding on it and not being able to, like, I mean, like, just being upset with yourself for not doing it as well as you think you can, and then finally breaking a little bit of ground and getting somewhere, and then getting stuck and not knowing what to do. And those are the things that make the end result so incredibly satisfying. And I think I feel I actually feel bad for someone that wants to do that, but then isn't able to stick through it,
yeah.
because they'll never realize that satisfaction, and they have some inkling of what it would be like, or they wouldn't have been doing it in the first place. So I all I can say is, if you're ever doing something like that, and I'm not like a super like motivational guy or anything like that, but if you are doing it, just stick it out and push through
See it
the
through the end. At least it's like this. What my wife told me: just get to the first draft, finish the first
yeah.
draft, just get it done.
It's
Because
those little, it's those milestones that you hit that can really like push you along too.
yeah, what was stopping me was the perfectionism. I'm a
Oh
perfectionist,
yeah.
and so it's research,
I don't
research,
have that
research.
bone.
Oh gosh. It's research, and then it's like, okay, so this is what my book, I like this book, this is what I want it to look like, so I've got to keep it within this square. And so writing it, I've got, oh, I needed at 5,000 words. Oh my gosh, I'm over 5,000 words. I need each
That's
chapter around.
that is a big step. That's a huge step.
Gosh, it just held me back. It held me back. And then it was more like, oh, I need to, not dumb it down, but I need to, like, I was trying to be perfect when in the beginning process, there's no reason to being perfect. You just need to put it out. And
Yep.
then it's rinse, wash, repeat. It's a lot, and I mean a lot of editing.
Editing, yeah,
A
and
lot of editing.
rereading and
Oh
asking other
yeah.
people's opinions, and getting feedback and changing things and getting pissed off about the feedback and then changing it anyway. And yeah, it's such a huge part of the process. And I wondered, when you were saying there, like, I think it's interesting to find out what people's influences are. So what are the books that you like that inspired you to make your book the way it is?
So I don't have it with me right now, but the number one book would be the Dave Pilkey Captain Underpants.
Oh,
That's
okay, yeah, I'm familiar.
I read it to the kids. I was able to read the whole book in one sitting, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this was fun!" But I mean, to be quite honest, we'll do this. I was recently interviewed on the Artcasters live stream. It's with Scott Cirkland from Cirkworks Art Labs. Oh shoot, there was Corey and Josh. They brought me on back in 2018, and they re-interviewed me just recently. And so
And you
talking
you
about
had already started work on it back then.
No. This is just being interviewed. I'm just
Okay.
well, actually, yes. The idea started off back then.
Yeah, it takes forever to accomplish
So
those things.
so we're going to be talking we talked about kids and art and stuff, and so I wanted to kind of get a little refresher course on what we talked about how long ago, and re-listen to an old interview, and gosh, it was so oh, just gagged me with a spoon.
Oh, it's so cringy to watch interviews of yourself. I can't.
Yes.
I won't watch this later.
No, this one's good. This one's good, but
And in
there's
10 years, we might be singing a different tune. But
that's true. But here I was. I'm like, oh my goodness. I rewatched it and I'm thinking, wow, I don't think I've made any big steps from the time that they interviewed me to the time then. But the more I started to think about it, it was like, wait a minute. When I first started Shawnee Poo, it was a web comic book. And that's what I was telling them at the time. I was like, yeah, it's a little kid and a little robot. And the only direction was, or the idea was, it's just a boy and a robot, and he gets, and does silly pranks to his dad. That's it. And I had
that's
like,
enough.
well, it was enough, but it like the cool thing was I rewatched the interview, and then I was able to retrospectively look back and say, you know what, you did make some moves.
Yeah.
The story is vastly different, and it's mutated. It is changed. There's more to it, and so I was able to be like, yeah, it's been like quite a long time, but man, like, hey, at least I've got a script now, and
Right.
But it was just really cool to look back, and as much as I want to be here on the bar, yeah, I made some progression, but yeah, it's just cool. I don't know.
I think you're in the final stages though right now, right? Like the script is the hard part, right? Like you're gonna do the things that now, like that you're comfortable with, that you've been doing for a long time. This could be the fun part for you instead of like the tedious part, And
Yeah.
I think that I think you'll find that once you start getting going on the rest of this, you're gonna really have fun.
I can't wait. And talking about illustrators, so there's other authors out there needing an illustrator. Tell us how you got the amazing Andy Carrion just all over again. I know you work with him. Just tell it all over again.
Well, I'll tell you both of the books. I randomly just had a friend of Andrea's in Florida for Let's Make S'mores, and I saw that he was putting out his own kids book. So I was like, oh wow, I didn't even realize that you did this. And I was like, would you be interested in drawing this? And he was like, yeah, no problem. Unfortunately, he's a person like us who is running a business and is working a regular job, and he's got kid, like he's busy. So it took a good 3 years for him to finish the art for it. And then when I pitched him drawing S'mores, I also pitched him for Ari and the Armpit Mouse, and he once we got S'mores finished, he was like, listen, he's like, I can't hold you up again for another 3 years. He's like, I can't do it to you. So he's like, I'd love to do it. I think it's a great story. He's like, I don't have time. So I was like, oh no, this isn't gonna happen. And now Ari's like all mad. But then I remembered, because I've been taking Ari to Drawn to Comics since she was a month old. And I'll tell that story right now because it feels right, like the right time to do it. But Ari when Ari was born, the first time we really left the house after she was born was to go to the balloon festival in downtown Glendale. I don't think they even do it anymore, but it was the coolest thing ever. They had all of these hot air balloons right out in front of the comic book store. Was the Spider-Man hot air balloon, and it's at night and they're lighting up. It was really cool. And she's a month old, so she's just looking around. It's just light to her at that point. But I saw that there was a comic book store, and I was like, wow, like I loved comics when I was a kid, and I'd really like to make sure that like Ari appreciates art and literature and things like that. So I'm like, let's go buy her a couple of comic books. Maybe we could find her a couple number ones that like recently came out or something like that, and just she'll have that forever. You know, we'll put it away, and she'll just always have it. Well, we went in, and the staff and Ken at Drawn to Comics were just so accommodating and cool. And like I told them what we were doing, and they were just like amazing. I mean, they're just so kind and caring and just interesting and fun, and they know more about comics than anyone could ever know. And so after that, after we bought her like Spider-Gwen #1 and some cool books that are like that are worth a lot of money now. After that, I was like, Andrew, I'm like, what? Those people were so cool, and I enjoyed that experience so much. And I think it'd be so awesome. Like, what if we take Ari once a month? We get her comics, we take a picture of her, we take a picture of all the comics, we make a little image, and then we'll have a picture of her doing this every single month of her entire life. And we're fortunate enough to be able to do it, and we just kept with it. And like literally now we've gone every single month for over 6 years.
My gosh.
And you can so my personal website is josephdnewcomer.com. If you go there and you go into, I think it's in the bio section, there's a photo section, and you can click on Ari's trips to the comic book store, and you can see every single picture. And I post them on Facebook too, but there you can see them all in a row. So through going to the comic book store, I met Andy, who was selling his art there, and we were like, oh man, this is so cool. We got like Spider-Gwen art, we got Spider-Man art, just cool stuff. I think the first thing I bought from him was a really amazing drawing of Darth Vader like coming up over a hill with a bunch of stormtroopers and stuff. It was really cool. And I found out that he worked with me because he worked like 3 floors away from me. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So fast forward to me not having an artist, and I'm like, I wonder if Andy would do that. So I just went down to his desk, and I was like, hey man, I'm like, would you be interested in drawing a kid's book? He's like, that's actually how I started. So he drew kids books before he drew comics. And I was like, I would be thrilled to have you work on this. And he was like, absolutely. He's like, this is a really fun, it's a really fun script. I love it. He's like, send me some pictures of Ari, send me pictures of her room and everything, that she likes and stuff. And I sent him all this stuff, and he sent back the cutest, most wonderful sketches of Ari and her toys and her rooms. And like, it was just, I was like, this guy's going to make this amazing. So, I mean, we went back and forth. Very little that I added or had to ask him to change. I mean, almost nothing. And after about a year, we have it.
That's cool. I need to have Andy on. So pretty much, I mean, all in all, it's networking, right? Like you gotta put yourself out there.
Absolutely.
You gotta put, because if it's like this, if Andy didn't know, he's not gonna know. So if you don't, you gotta put yourself out there.
He's not gonna tell me. He's not gonna come up to me like, hey, you want to write a kid's book? No one's gonna do that. So you have to be really forthright about everything you do in order to make any sort of connections with anyone. I mean, and I think that a lot of people have a really hard time with that, and it, understandably so. People have anxiety and social fears of just talking in front of people or just feeling embarrassed. But I mean, if there's anything you can do to overcome that, whether it be talking to a therapist or whatever you need to do to be able to get yourself to a position where you're able to enact your dreams, or you're gonna find a lot more happiness,
Yeah. And I think this is something that I continue to say is I've had to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever heard this story. I would say this: the first time I really got in front of a crowd of people and did art, was around 2018, like 2017, 2018.
I
And
think that's
what
around when I met you as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
But what had happened was Ace Comic Con was coming to Glendale, Arizona. It was the first
Yeah,
year. There was
I remember this.
Stanley, Chris Evans. They had a good cast of talent coming through. I remember my friend Janimal Draws. You guys got to look him up. Janimal Draws. He's a good friend. He contacted me and was like, "Hey, you're gonna do Ace?" I said, "Nah, not this year. I mean, the cost for tables." He
That's
said,
and Ace is probably even more.
"Yeah, yeah," but he said, "Well, what about Kids Comic Con?" I'm like, What's Kids Comic Con?" And he pretty much explained. This guy Alex Simmons, he's from New York. He put together this Kids Comic Con, and I don't know if it's nonprofit. I don't know. Anyways,
Did that happen
he
in Phoenix? They had that in Phoenix?
yes, they had it in Phoenix in downtown. Well, not down in the stadium, the hockey stadium thingy.
Oh, in Gila River Arena.
Yes, that's where Ace had it, and so they
So
were going.
so Aces has Ace Comic Con, and then they also have this Kids Comic Con.
What they did was they cut out a little spot in the convention, and it was a
Oh,
family friendly area.
oh, that's
No,
awesome. I
yeah,
didn't know
no,
about that.
it was none of the fluff, none of the cheesecake art, none of that stuff. So instead of bringing his talent that's going to cost money, he looked for local talent. So Janimal, my friend, "Hey Sean, did you see this?" And at that time, my goal was I want to get a free table. I've been doing Comic Cons for all these years. Gosh, man, it costs a pretty penny to, get a table. So my
Right.
goal was I want to get a free table. That was my goal. But for 10 years, over a decade, it was no, 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 no. I'm not doing art classes. I'm not doing panels. I'm not getting in front of people. So
Oh,
fast forward, we're here. Me and Jan send our stuff out to Alex. He goes and goes through our stuff, and then he pretty much emails us that, "Hey, I like both of what you guys do. I want you guys to come out. Here's the deal. It's a 3-day event. Table's all yours. You get a table. Anything you make, that's yours. But big but, they had an area behind us, and they would have classes, 45-minute classes every couple hours. And so that was the clause. Like I had to do a 45-minute presentation each day.
oh man,
So
that would have been triggering for me. That would stress me
oh
out.
oh my gosh. And at that time I was going through, what is it? Imposter syndrome, where what am I doing with my life? I'm just doing fan art. Da, 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 da. I kind of had the Shawnee Poo thing, but there was no direction. And so,
I don't even understand that. Like, and that's where it comes into play, like the confidence, because what you were doing back then that I knew that I saw immediately was a very unique. I mean, albeit like I would compare it to Scotty Young, but it's not the same thing. It's really your very own thing that you're doing, and it was so clear and apparent to me that we immediately started collecting your art. So that it blows my mind, and I think that a lot of people who will see your art or have seen your art would just be shocked to hear that you just weren't like uber confident about it right away.
oh, I didn't. And I've got an autoimmune disease. I've been dealing with that for over a decade. So I committed because I want my goal. I want that table.
Right. You wanted
I
the
want the
table.
goal. But it's crossing the streams. It's crossing the streams. So did the event, and it's the day of, and the first person goes, and there's like one or two kids, and I'm like, okay, yeah, if I could just, one or two kids, I think I'm gonna be good. And my stomach was in a fuss. I'm
Oh
the type
yeah.
of person, I want to be perfect. I want every word to be written out. I want every space where there's a joke to be placed. It has to, like, that's what I expected. But I ended up having to talk with Alex and my wife. And instead of having this attitude and mindset of I need to be perfect, everything needs to be perfect, it turned into just go out there and have fun. Go out there, and if I can get the kids to laugh, if I can make them feel like $1,000,000, that's the goal. And so
Right.
things switch. I go out there and I'm greeted with a full crowd.
Oh man.
And I'm just like, come on, man. Actually, I was like this. No. Yeah. Like, come on. So I get up and we drew a robot together. I threw all the feelings, and I'm just like, I don't care how it looks. I don't care that it's not going to be perfect. I don't care if I stumble or I start to stutter. It's going to just have fun. So we drew a robot. I drew the robot like it needed to use the restroom.
Oh, Ari would love that.
Oh, the kids were laughing. The parents even sat down too and joined in. I had a fantastic time. At the time, I was an office manager at a shutter company. So doing art was like part-time. I looked at it as fun. Right. So here I am. I get done, and I want to grab my stuff and go. And I've got 3 parents coming up asking, "Hey, where's your art studio? We want to take art classes from you."
Yeah. I mean,
well, listen to what I said. I said, "I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm the office manager." I like, and Alex Simmons, the guy that brought me on, he's amazing. He's fantastic. Everybody look him up. Alexander Simmons. Is it Blackjack? He's got his own character. But anyways, he took me aside and said, "Hey, boy, what are you doing?" And I'm like, just telling them the truth. He said, "No, son, they see something in you." And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "No, they see something inside of you that they want and they can't get anywhere else. And you can do it." I'm like, "Okay, but like, yeah." He's like, listen. Next time this happens, you do your elevator pitch." I'm like, "Okay, what's an elevator pitch?" And he says, "Okay, so parent comes up, I want to take your classes. This is your response. I don't have any classes right now, but if you give me your telephone number, cell phone, or email address, as soon as I have my classes up and running, I'm going to contact you so you can be a part of it." And I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "Do you know what you do next, son?" "I don't know." He says, "You go home and you make it happen."
Yeah, make an art class.
And sure enough, that's what I did. After Ace Comic-Con, I went immediately to Drawn to Comics in downtown Glendale, Arizona. And I said, "Hey, Ken, Susan, you guys have been asking for over 5 years, and you guys want to do art classes for kids?" And that's how it started.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I remember going in there while you were doing art classes and watching for a couple minutes. It was awesome. Really, what a great thing to teach kids and to give them the kind of confidence that maybe we don't have, you know.
Well, that's what.
So when they grow up, they're already they know they're good. You know, they know that they have talent. And that's nothing is more important than building a kid's confidence.
That was part of the drive. The part of the drive was, for the longest time, I had no direction. For the longest time, I didn't believe in myself. For the longest time, I had a very low outlook on myself.
Right.
And so
it's hard, man.
But it wasn't until doing the art classes and then the Shawnee Poo thing and then test marketing it on the kids. Like,
and that's how cool is that? Like, first of all, if you get a kid to like something and they're into it, there's nothing more honest than that. So if you're doing an art class and the kids are enjoying it, you must be doing something right, because they will tell you if you're not.
I've had all kinds of experiences. One of my favorite is this. I have some sort of understanding of maybe what Walt Disney or Stan Lee might have felt when a kid came up and said, I drew your character.
Oh yeah.
I've had several kids draw Shawnee Poo. I've had several kids draw Fuji. That is the most greatest feeling in the world,
Yeah.
especially when there's no book. It's just me in front of them. All right, we're gonna do art class and da 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 da. I'm like, I gotta plug Shawnee Poo, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've had people say kind things about my work and what it meant to them, and that's, you're right, that's there's not a better feeling than that. And what we've been talking about with elevator pitches and having to be a marketing genius to get anywhere, that's kind of part of the reason that I started Dead Star Press, because I don't think a writer should have to be good at those things, right?
No.
If of the best, somebody could write the best book in the world, like the most interesting, deep, brilliant novel you've ever read in your entire life, and all they're going to be judged on is whether they can put that into 3 sentences and excite you about it. I just think that that's so freaking absurd. No one should have to do that with their work. If you wrote something that's 200, 300 pages, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you to dumb it down to a sentence or two for me. So that's kind of the reason I really wanted to be able to and find and help people who don't who aren't going to be able to go out there and get a book deal because they don't have that that desire. Not even that they don't want to do it, not that they don't want to do it, but like, not that they're incapable of doing it, just that feels gross to them, like it feels demeaning. And I blew my mind, some of the submissions we got right off the bat. I was like, how are these people not getting published with this work? It's so amazing. And one of the first guys that sent us stuff was this writer named Dan Scammell, who wrote these. He sent us a book, and it's one of the most mind-bogglingly brilliant things I've ever read. And I told you that Vonnegut was my favorite author almost all my life. Dan Scammell is my favorite author now. He is
really.
He's written this brilliant allegory for modern rehabilitation and drug and alcohol rehabilitation and mental health rehabilitation, but you'd never know that's what it was about if you just read the story and took it at face value, because it's this incredibly fantastic sci-fi novel about aliens coming to Earth and offering people this chance to go to this heaven of sorts, and that's what it's about. And it's about people struggling to be able to go and do that. But it really has like all of these levels of meaning to it, and that kind of blew my mind. I was like, hey, send us everything you have. And to be completely honest, the very first thing that I sent him was, hey, I would love to publish your book. I would be ecstatic to publish your book. I really think that you should shop this to the big 5 publishers and probably a few agents first, though, because it's so good. You could really make, I feel like you have an opportunity here to make a very good living doing what you're doing. And I don't want to be the person that holds you back from that, because we're doing this so independently, and it's not going to hit the eyes of, it's not going to get on Oprah's book club.
Yeah.
And he was like, absolutely not. He's like, what I want is, I don't want to pander to these, all of these like ridiculous steps that people make you take and jumping through all these hoops. He's like, I like what you're doing, and I like your company, and I like your mission statement on your website. He's like, I feel like this is where I belong. And he's like, I'm honored that you said what you said, but I'd really just rather stick with you. And I was like, okay, I guess if that's what you want to do, awesome. I'm like, but also send me everything else you've ever written, because I want to publish it. And I ended up putting 4 of his stories in our first anthology called From the Dead. And they're just I don't know. I know that probably you have kids watching. Some of them are a little darker and a little more adult themed, but if you're into Vonnegut or Bradbury or Asimov, like, go read his stuff, and come check out Dead Star Press, and check out his next work coming out. It's called Walnut Ridge.
That you just blow my mind, because I know one thing. I'm trying to do my own book. That's a pretty big mountain in itself. You're not only doing that, but you're also publishing other authors' works through your own print press. So
Yeah, I mean, we can't. I don't write books that quickly. I've written three over since 2016. I've written three books. So I've done some other things as well. I mean, the kids' books I'm not counting because they're much shorter. But I couldn't keep up with the amount of books that I'd like to publish with my writing, because I'm just not that prolific. Dan he is that guy. He's
wow,
he's doing the NaNoWriMo, and he's
Crankosaurus.
crushing it, and everything that comes off his keyboard is just
Gold.
more brilliant than the last thing, and it blows my mind how talented he is. I might be just as excited about publishing him as I am about getting my own books out there, to be completely honest, because I just think that he's there's so much value in what he's doing, and if the world doesn't get it or see it, that'd be a crime.
Yeah. So here's a question: since you've been writing for quite a bit, you've got way more books under your belt than I do. How has your writing evolved since you first started?
Wow. I probably have fewer grammar errors, but that's probably just having Grammarly on my computer. I think that when you start writing and you're looking to publish a novel, you get concerned about things that aren't as important as the story, and so you'll not do what you're supposed to be doing. And I think that as I finished up my first book, I realized I'm putting more in here than I want to, and you concentrate on like a word count, and like you said, like hitting 5,000 words is such a great feeling, and it's a big accomplishment. But if you hit 5,000 words and only 2,000 of them are any good, or push the story along, or make sense, or just are exciting to read or interesting to read, you've really done yourself a disservice. Put out the 2,000 words, put out what you really are trying to say, and get rid of the fluff, so that's something that has evolved. I think I've gotten better at not writing things that I'm going to take out later. I think I took out I think I took out 50 pages of my first book, and just said, this isn't up to snuff with the rest of it, and then as I wrote, and as I got quicker at deciding it wasn't right, so at the end I wasn't taking a ton of pages out. Throughout it, I would write something, and I'd be like, this isn't the day to do it, like this isn't coming out right. So I like literally forgot what the question was at this point, because I've talked myself out of it.
We were talking about pretty much how your writing has evolved.
Okay.
You made me think of pretty much what's happened with myself. So when I first wrote the first draft, I wrote another first draft, because at first I wrote it with Shawnee Poo, Fuji, and then a side character like Shawnee Poo's best friend.
Right.
But I struggled. I got to a point where something just wasn't making sense, and then I would write it. I would take that character out, and then it was just Shawnee Poo and Fuji. And then I'd write the whole thing, and then I'd be like, no, I have to have that one character, and then I'd rewrite it. I did this back and forth until I drove myself insane, almost. But what it came down to for myself was, what is the story about? The story is about a boy and a robot. Let's focus on that. As much as I want this other side character to be in there, he might show up. But that's ultimately what I did. And I know it drove myself insane doing it. Here's a question. Do you read your reviews, and how do you deal with negative reviews?
Well, I mean, I try to take something from everything. I've had some reviews that were like just directed at me personally, so that those are easy to dismiss. But the ones that are tough are the ones that say, "Oh, I like this, this, and this, but this could have been better," and you're like, "Oh man, maybe you're right." Like I don't think it's a bad thing to read your reviews, and I think a lot of people you just have to have a filter for it, right?
Yep.
You have to know where it's coming from and what's useful and pick and choose what's going to help you, because that's all
You're
it
not,
should be. It just should be a tool to help you. It's not
and
a
you're not
tool
going
to
to
bring you
win.
down.
You're not going to win them all. Not
No,
not everyone's
and you don't
be,
want to.
Yeah. Not
You really
everyone's
don't.
going to like Shawnee Poo. They're not going to like Sean Sauter as a human being. And instead of focusing on, no, everyone has to like me.
Right.
That's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And all that could be put towards the next pursuit, the next project.
That's how I look at like social media. I don't look at social media as I try to find as many people that are interested in my stuff, but I cultivate that. I'm not. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's a stupid analogy, I guess, but if you're a gardener, you have to get rid of the weeds. So like you got to find the people that do give a crap about your work and that are interested in that have that same mindset as you. And I think that that's one thing I've been successful at on social media. It's the one thing that I think that I have been successful at in social media is finding the right people. It might not be, it's not 10 million people, but it is the people that have similar, I don't know, maybe it's just they're similar people. But I'm not really sure, but it's definitely something that like you have to find your audience, and you just have to keep building it. Like if you meet 100 people and one person out of those 100 is someone that's going to really like key in and be interested in your work and appreciate it for the way you want it to be appreciated, that's huge. I'll take that percentage every day.
What is the most valuable lesson you've learned as a children's author?
Jeez, I don't know. That's a tough one. You mean like for writing or for just in life in general?
I would say in writing. Let's stick to writing.
Okay, so for writing, I think here's my only trick. This is the only thing I've learned since I started writing my first book when I was 17, and I'm 42 now. Don't think you're gonna remember something later, because you're not. Like you're just not. This saves my life. And I know that like we rely too heavily on our phones for a lot of things, and we're obsessed with being on them and checking social media and all this stuff. But if I didn't have my phone, I wouldn't have my last book. I wouldn't have Diminishing Return. And if I didn't have that journal in high school, I wouldn't have El Camino Blue. So writing down my thoughts as I have them and being able to save them in some way is more important to my writing than anything else. I think I will. You get blocked sometimes. You don't know what you want to write about, and even when you have time to write, like you sit down and you're like, "Oh, where am I at in the story?" I don't care where I'm at in maybe I have two tips, I guess. I don't care where I'm at in the story, as long as whatever I'm writing, I'm excited about, and it's going to be good. So if I have an idea about the end of it or something in the middle, I will write that out like right now. Like I won't waste my time trying to write to that point to get there, because then all you're going to do is fill that middle ground. It's just going to be a bunch of transitional garbage. Yeah. So I write whatever it is, whatever the thought is, I write it down immediately. And now I do that for everything. If I have maybe some of my ideas aren't so great and they probably shouldn't be recorded, but anytime I have a thought, I have my phone next to me. I throw it on my phone. I'll keep it even in the shower. That's where I have like 80% of my ideas are in the shower for sure. I think it's your mind is fresh. It's in the morning, and and the thoughts start rolling in, and if I don't like literally stop what I'm doing, I have a towel right next to the shower. I dry my hands and I'll write whatever it is on my phone. That's I would say that probably a good 40% of Darkest Day is written in my notes on my phone.
I completely agree with the whole taking notes. Any idea, create a note. This is idea, and maybe be specific. This is an idea for this book, or this is just a general idea.
Even if it's just a really good sentence that you like, or just a word that you want to use, you're like, oh, that really describes something. Just don't don't let it ride, because you're not going to remember. I mean, maybe somebody else has a better memory than I do, but as I get older, I remember nothing. So I try to write it all down, and then when I sit down to write, if I'm at a point where I'm like, man, I have time to write, but I don't have anything to say right now, I'll go back through my notes. I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'll just type that piece into the manuscript wherever that is. I'll put little notes in there like this is going to happen later on, and I'll put that in like a sidebar, so I know that like I need to have a lot of stuff in between or whatever. But
Yeah.
just get the idea out while it's fresh, because you're gonna save yourself so much frustration, because your mind just isn't capable of like keeping that. And even if you do remember, and this has happened to me too, I'm like, I think I remember what I was writing or what I was thinking, and I think I've written it like that, but it just doesn't have the same ring to it, like
Yeah.
there's so much like nuance that when you have a good idea that you get excited about, and if you don't capture that right when it's happening, it can be gone forever.
Gotcha. Do you have any favorite writing resources, such as books or websites, that you go to? Helped you out?
I mean, I'm not really. I mean, I just reading books by authors that I like, I think, and sometimes it's a hindrance, to be honest. Sometimes I'll catch myself like, now this isn't your writing. You're writing something that you like. This isn't your voice at all. But I mean, as far as what, like for like technique or something like that.
I would say, I guess technique, or because it's like this. I mean, even with drawing, there's so many ways to draw. There's so many different ways of going about writing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never really been an instructional reader. I don't. I probably means I'm doing everything wrong.
The people that
I don't know.
The people that like someone that I followed, Bethany Atizada. She's an author tube. I guess that's what they call it, author tube. There's Bethany Atizada. Sarah Cannon. They're all independent indie authors, and they do their own channels, and they'll talk about their process. And so I've followed a lot of these people. In fact, it was pretty funny because I've implemented a lot of their stuff. When I was interviewed on the Artcasters recently, it was really cool to sit here and bond with other authors. Like before, I don't like, they're saying this, but I've never experienced it, so I'm just going to be quiet back here. But it was really cool to bond about the writing process, to talk about how each step that I've done. And what was really cool, Harmony pointed this out, Josh, he kind of, when I was laying out each stage, the beta reader stage, he was like, yep, good job. And then I said, then I hired a professional editor. He's like, a lot of guys that start, a lot of
I didn't when I started, and I regret it. I definitely, because I can go back through and find like error after error after error, but I'm like, it's done now. What are you gonna do? But I mean, it's never going to be perfect. I mean, you can read any book that's published right now by even the big 5 publishers, and you're gonna find some issues in any of them. But it is best to have a good editor. It's worth its price, and it's worth its weight.
It definitely is. I want to go back. I want to go into family, because I think families are important How do you balance writing with family life?
Well, I mean, family for it's got to come first, you know. Sometimes I'll do things where I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to hang out as much tonight because I got to go do this or that or whatever. But I mean, honestly, I try to at this point with the kids' books, I just try to involve Ari,
With it.
you know, and Andrea is like really supportive of everything that I do, and I really don't spend a lot of my home time doing anything for my personal writing. I do spend some time like prepping for events and or just working out. Like if I'm like trying to get something published, sometimes like you got to go back and forth. You got to make changes, and those things have to happen like in real time. So that'll happen. But I try to I guess I just try to use my personal time to do a lot of those things. Like I wrote almost all of my last two books at work on lunch breaks and like just when I had an idea come up, I just type it out. But yeah, I don't really have that. I don't really have much of an issue with that. I think that when you're really trying to make it your source of income, if you don't have an option, you have to be doing this all the time. So I could see how that could be a difficulty.
I struggle because all I want to do is work, 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 work. And when the kids are up, I'm just pulling my hair out. Like I need quiet. I need to focus. But then the flip side of it is once they go to bed, it turns upside down to where all I'm thinking about is how bad I want to spend time with them and how, I should have done this or I should have done that. And
yeah, that's tough. That's a tough situation to be in because your brain doesn't know what it wants until it's not there, right? So
yeah.
I mean, you've got to really be present. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think dads play a very important role in their kids' lives. What does being a dad mean to Joseph the Newcomer?
I mean, I guess you until I had a kid, I guess I was very wrapped in my own thoughts and I still am. I very much am. I mean, I wrote a book about literally the things that I think a whole book, like several books actually. And I think that you find more things about life that just don't, it's not about you all the time, and you become as impatient of a person as I am. The most patient I am is with my kid. Now that's not always patient. Don't get me wrong. I'm a very anxious person, so that anxiousness definitely comes out and in all facets of my life. But with you just start to care about things that you wouldn't have, or you start to look at the world in a different light. Like this place has to be better for kids. It has to be better for the future, and you don't really think about that, or I didn't think about that as much. I know people without kids though that have that same mindset that very much care about all of those things. So I don't know that it's just being a parent. I just know that it changed that for me.
Yeah. So I've got to ask this question. I'm a big foodie. I like my food. And growing up, I remember my dad always making this 5-spice chicken. That was like the solder jam. Every month we would have this 5-spice chicken.
5-spice chicken.
It is so good. In fact, there was a point in time where we lost the recipe, we thought, and my dad had passed away back in 2015. But we've got the recipe. We've got the recipe. I'm still cooking it to this day. So my question is this. Is there a Newcomer family recipe that you enjoyed growing up and you're still cooking to this day?
Okay. There are a couple things. Ari's favorite thing that I cook is I'll make I'll make like a steak or whatever kind of steak, but I'll put it over rice, and the rice will have Alfredo sauce in it, and like a lot of melted parm. That's her favorite thing that I cook. We make nachos a lot. We had nachos tonight.
Oh,
But I would say the tradition for our family was we started. I worked in restaurants for a very long time, and so I love going to a good restaurant, or even a restaurant that maybe doesn't seem great, but like their food's incredible.
yeah.
So we started taking Ari to restaurants at a very early age, to the point where like people generally don't, like they question your sanity for taking a kid to a restaurant, but all you're doing is making it so that they get accustomed to being there. And then you have a kid that's really well behaved at a restaurant, instead of one that's like, this is all fresh and new and exciting and they're running around. So we took her to restaurants all the time. And I just think that trying new restaurants and finding foods that we like on different menus, that's what we do. I think that's
cool.
We one of our favorite places, George and Son. Have you ever been here? I think they have one in Scottsdale, and there's one right up the street. They have the best chicken fried rice I've ever had anywhere.
I've never tried that before.
Oh,
I've got to try it.
George and Son's chicken fried rice, and it's out of this world, just crazy good. But one of my favorite things to do before we had kids, before I was with Andrea, like just trying new foods at new restaurants. My favorite restaurant in the entire world is Bukan. This is gonna sound like so glamorous, but it's not something that like we take lightly. Like we when we went there, this is like a big night out for us. But it's on Palm Beach Island, where like Madonna has a house. Anyway, they have this incredible open kitchen restaurant that everything they make is fresh. Their menu changes seasonally, but the best thing on their menu is their steak tartare, which is essentially raw steak, but it's actually cooked in like vinegar and things like that. But it has like black truffle in it, and a deep fried quail egg yolk on top, and then it goes on like these toast points. I think about it daily. So like going to restaurant, that is my thing. Like finding the best burger in a town, or finding the best taco, like in anywhere we go. Like that's what we love to do with food.
I was very narrow-minded growing up. Our jam was chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn. That was it.
Chicken, mashed potatoes, and corn can be like mind-blowing. Like it can be amazing. It's just you have to cook it right. That's all.
But it wasn't until I got married to Harmony, I started to branch off and dip my toe into other foods that I would never normally eat, like
I don't think you're supposed to put your feet in it.
No, I don't put my feet in it, but I mean, I try newer things. Have you tried birria?
Birria? No, not really. I don't think so.
You got to try this. It's a birria taco. It is. What do they do? Man, they stew this meat for quite a while, and then they take a tortilla and jam the meat in it, as well as some sort of cheese, and then they dip the whole taco in the sauce, and then they put it on the griddle and both sides, and then they serve it to you with the sauce, and you dip the birria taco in the sauce. So good.
I've had things like this before. Yeah.
So good.
We're just in.
All right.
But yeah, no, I've had that. Those are good. Unfortunately, they're very greasy, and
they are.
My old body cannot take it. I can't do the greasy food anymore.
What about a Sonoran dog?
I think I had one at a baseball game, and I wasn't a big fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, you have to, if you go down to Tucson, you got to go to El Güero Garnedo. They make the most phenomenal Sonoran dog on the planet.
See, I trust that, even if it's something that I don't like, and somebody says, "I know that you're not a big fan of this or this, but this place makes it incredibly." I trust that every time. I'll go try it for sure.
I came across it from Man versus Food. Remember that
Okay,
show?
yeah,
Okay, so
absolutely.
he came down here and he went down to Tucson, and sure enough, he tried their Sonoran dog, and I was working at that shutter company. I used to install shutters, so I was all over Arizona. I was up in Bullhead City. I was up in Yuma or down in Yuma. I was in Tucson, and anytime I would go to Tucson, I knew exactly what I was having for lunch.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's me when I go to Pittsburgh. Since I'm from Erie, Pittsburgh's like an hour and a half away. I ended up living there for a little while when I went to art school, and but there's a sandwich shop, and the sandwich shop in like a 6-pack house, and it's called Carson Street Deli, and they have like the best, and it's just a basic sandwich, just a cold corned beef sandwich with provolone, lettuce, tomato,
Ooh.
mayo, and it's like the best corned beef you've ever had, and the bread is fresh, and like it's their potato salad that goes with the sandwich is just crazy good. And they have these great pickles and cookies. Like that. I get it. I get what you're saying. Like when if there's a place where I go, like I know well before I get there exactly what I'm gonna eat. When I go home to Pennsylvania, when I go to Erie, I'm gonna get a John's Wildwood pizza. I'm gonna
Ooh.
I'm gonna get wings from the Plymouth. I'm gonna get what else? I'm gonna go to, I don't know if it's still open anymore, but I'm gonna go to Serafini's and get their homemade pasta and spaghetti and sausage. Like all those things, like those are made up in my mind months in advance, because like this is something that like I said, this has been the culture of my brain for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, living up in a small town, I'm now realizing how blessed everyone is living in Phoenix, living in the big city.
So many options, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a McDonald's, we've got a Sonic, and
Hey, I
a
like
Dairy Queen.
McDonald's though. Don't get me wrong. I'll eat a double cheeseburger all day, every day.
But when it's the only option, oh
Yeah.
man, that double cheeseburger, whoo.
It's a little boring.
Yeah, it gets a little boring. But I mean, anytime we're going down to Phoenix, it's Cane's, it's Popeye's chicken. There needs to be a chicken joint out here. I don't know why.
How is that Popeye sandwich so good? It's I mean it kills me. Like literally will die for 3 days after I eat one of those. But
I'll tell you how. They put addictive chemical in it to make you cleave it.
Nightly. Yeah, I know. I'm very very well versed in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
One of my favorite movies. So Charlotte tells me, nope, we're not going to go there. Anyways, I know
it's
I've had
but quite pointy in paths. Such a good movie.
Light a match. Yeah, I had to tell the kids, I'm like, that's Shrek. That's Shrek. They're like, no, it's Shrek. I'm telling you. But
oh man,
I've had you on for well over an hour.
Oh yeah, geez, look at that.
I feel bad. I know that we were gonna have to get this cut off, but I've got to ask this question. What are some things parents can do to help strengthen their bond with their family? Because I look at you, I think you've got an amazing family. The relationship with your daughter, oh my gosh, you were already talking about you taking her to the comic book store and documenting it. I've seen it. I tabled with you this past weekend at Drawn to Comics Free Comic Book Day Festival. You're an amazing father.
I mean,
share with us.
I don't feel like anybody thinks they're doing a great job as a parent, and I am not any different. I just try to, man. It's hard for me to say something like that, because I feel like arrogant, and I don't think that, I really don't think that I'm a perfect parent or that I do an incredible job. Like, but I mean, thank you. I really appreciate that. I feel like I make just as many mistakes as I make good choices, probably more. Um, but I feel like the thing that I do with Ari the most is just try to get her share with her the things that I enjoy. You know, I liked comic books. I took her to get comic books. I love rock music, so I've taken her to rock concerts and I mean, I don't know if you saw my post about when I took Ari to see the band Broken Baby and Letters to Cleo, but if you haven't seen it, I'll find it for you and send it to you. It's way too long of a story for now, but um, just share what you enjoy with them, because kids or people latch on to things that you're excited about, and if you're passionate about something, that just transfers, you know, like the fact that you're so passionate about your book, when I hear you talking about it, like it makes me want to read it, like it makes me want to be part of it, and to know what it's about, because you're clearly excited about it, and that's what I've done with Ari. And not every single comic book trip she wanted to go. I mean, kids don't want to go places you want them to go.
Yeah.
But you know, and that's part of part of the struggle with that. And but you know, you're doing something special, and you kind of have to like see the light at the end of the tunnel, and the end of it is, oh, she's going to look back on this when she's older and know that I cared, and that like I wanted to do something with her, and I wanted to make something special happen with her. And it was about us, you know, it was about me sharing something with her. I mean, hopefully she'll see it that way. I would imagine in her teen years it's going to be like, I'm sure she'll come up with some way to make it a negative thing, but that's what teenagers do, right? So I don't know. I guess the big thing for me is just don't don't pretend like you're not excited about things. I mean, I guess I used to do that probably when I was younger, because I was, you know, I wanted to seem cool or whatever. But like
Joe
now
Cool.
it's, yeah, you want to. I don't care about being cool as much as I care about being forthright and having real conversations. And I'm not, maybe I feel like I'm not the perfect parent, because I see how other parents don't do the things that I'm doing, or do things differently than I'm doing. But I'm really just open with her, and I'll explain things to her that I know that my parents would have been like, let's
Yeah.
let's not talk about that.
Hold off. Yeah.
And it's, I don't, and that, I'm not saying they did a bad job. I'm just saying that it's different than the way I do it. And I feel like hopefully, um, when you're open and honest, and even if you're like upset, you know, like, or disappointed, or sad, or whatever it is, if I feel like if you share those things with the people around you, you become a real human to them, instead of that's just my dad, or that's the you don't they don't see you as an icon. They don't see you as a as a as like a, I don't know. I guess I'm not explaining that very well, but they don't see you as a static figure that is
Mhm.
one way. They see you as a human who has real thoughts and real emotions. And I think that's important, because for me, I think Ari needs to express herself, and that's how you're going to get to the I don't know, happiness at the end, right? Like if you can't
Yeah.
express your emotions, that it gets pent up, you know. And
Gotcha.
if you feel, I feel like she's more comfortable telling me how she feels, and maybe sometimes too much, um, because I share with her how I feel about things, and
That's good.
that's what I do. It might not be right for everybody, and it might not be right at all, but it's just what we do around here.
It sounds like to me what you're saying is the more time that you put into your family, the more time that you put into your children's lives, the more you're going to find a more deeper bond and love. And I think our kids are going to get way more out of it, versus if we don't put the time, we don't feed the time
Right.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and take the time to explain things. Take the time to to over explain things if you have to, and make sure that people know how you feel. If if Ari thinks that dad's a tough guy and I shouldn't, and he would never cry about this, or he would never show his emotions. I mean, don't get me wrong, no way she's ever going to think that, but she's going to go, I can do, like, that's what I can do that. Like, if I'm angry, I can say this makes me angry.
Yeah.
If I'm sad, I can say, hey, like, this hurts my feelings. This makes me sad. And if you can't, if we're not teaching them that, I mean, I don't know. For me, I don't think we're teaching them the right way.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was. You know what? Let's give a clap to that. You know what? No. Time out. We need to do an Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Yes.
But don't get me wrong. I screw up daily, hourly, all the time. I make mistakes. I have to apologize. All those things. I think that's an even bigger thing. Let people know, hey, I was wrong. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Like, and apologize the right way. If you say you're sorry and it's followed by but, that's not an apology anymore. And I think that is something that I probably drive home maybe a little too forcefully in our house, but I really feel like that's important, and just being able to say, hey, dude, I messed up. You can forgive people pretty easily if they're willing to accept that they made a mistake. So,
Joe, that was wonderfully said. And another thing is this, Joseph D. Newcomer, you have made it to the end.
Oh, are you gonna? We talked about. Are you gonna do? You're gonna draw something from the book, or you're gonna read something, or?
So we'll go ahead and we'll end off the Q&A with you, and then afterwards I'll do the reading, and
Cool.
then I'll draw something for everybody, so everyone still has to stick around. I'm not going to be done, but I've got one more question before we let you go. One more question.
Fire away.
This is I'm taking this from Corey from the Artcasters. The question is this: if you can go back in time before you got started on this author journey, what would you tell younger Joe D. Newcomer?
Oh my gosh, you understand that this is what diminishing return is about, right? Have you ever? It's a hard question to answer. I think that I would probably just maybe reinforce a little bit of what the way I was back then, and say, hey, like, you're not the way you feel and the way you think and the all these things, like, you're fine. You're good. Just go with it and let people know. And if you care about something or someone, tell them. If you are upset or angry or don't hold anything back. Like, you are your best when you're not inhibited.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably the advice I'd give myself.
Wonderful advice. I love it. Fantastic. Joe, thank you for coming on. You are my first interview. I'm never going to forget this. I'm never going to forget this. Before I let you go, I'm going to roll out the red carpet for you. Tell everyone what you've got going on in your life.
Okay, so with Dead Star Press, we're doing the big release party on Saturday from 12 to 4. Big family friendly event. Don't miss it. The week after that, on Saturday, we're at the Misfits Market at Taproom 120 in Gilbert from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. What else do we have going on? Check out the blog at josephdnewcomer.com. Thought and Other Absurdities is the name of the blog, but I also have that as a podcast. I haven't been doing it as much recently, but there are tons of episodes to listen to. They're like 4 or 5 minutes long, and they're all just thoughts about society or whatever I was thinking about that day, but it's all from the blog, and then it has like some bonus stuff in there. Check out deadstarpress.com. You can find almost all of my work there. El Camino Blue and Diminishing Return paperbacks are not on there. You'll only be able to find those on Amazon.com. So josephsdnewcomer.com, deadstarpress.com, and come and check us out at our events. Oh, and follow me on social media. I can always use cool people that have funny things to say about my posts. I do a bunch of like reels and stuff like that, so it's fun.
Amen.
Excelsior.
That's what I have to say about that. Simply amazing. Joseph D. Newcomer, thank you for coming on. We'll definitely, I got to have you back on. I really appreciate you. I really do.
Well, thanks so much. It was great to be on the show, and I appreciate you wanted me on the show. Nothing helps get the word out about anything as much as like doing stuff like this. So it's really important, and I'm super excited for your book. I'm so happy for you that you got that going, and you're so close to the finish line. I'm excited to see what you're going to end up having there, and I'm really stoked to see you read Ari and the Armpit Mouse and draw something from the book. I'm stoked for that. I'm sticking around. I'll be gone, but I'm watching.
All right. Thank you, Joe. We'll see you later. All right.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
See ya. All right. Oh, gosh, that was freaking fantastic. Oh, my jollies. Goodness gracious. That was so great. Got to interview I got to do my first interview. So where are we going to go? Let's see. What I'm going to do is, let's do this. Oh, we already did that. So we talked about my first live stream. We talked about the status of the book. We brought an amazing guest on, Joseph D. Newcomer. We're all done with that. And now we're to one of my, it's not new. Well, it's going to be new. Let me hide that. What we're going to do is we're going to read a book. Do you guys know what book that is? That's right. Joseph D. Newcomer gave me the permission to go ahead and read Ari and the Armpit Mouse. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you guys? So this could be a bedtime story for some. So let's get into this. Let's go ahead. We've got Ari and the Armpit Mouse. We've got written by Joseph D. Newcomer, as well as illustrated by the fantastic, amazing Andy Carrion. All right. So, look. This is for Ariella Nova Newcomer. Squeakers, the best imaginary friend, and of course, Bear and Snuggle Bunny. Woo! Yeah. And I really love this image. Oh, Andy did a great job. I think I've got to have him on. I really do. Let's go into, let's see. We're going to start it off right here. Right? Here we go. There were times when Ari wouldn't sleep in her bed. She liked to sleep in Mom and Dad's room instead. Oh, you guys see that? Oh, look at that. That's little Ari. She's going into Mom and Dad's room, and look at that. Looks like my dad. Snoring, feet out, running hot. All right. But on nights when she slept all alone in her room, something wondrous was happening. Something she never knew. What was happening? Let's take a look. Oh, look at that bedroom. I love the color on the walls. As soon as her mom and dad turned off the light and Ari would fall fast asleep. Look at that. Some great art. Oh, and I love that. Snuggle Bunny's in the background. Let me reread that because I think this one's going to rhyme with the next page. As soon as her mom and dad turned off the light and Ari would fall fast asleep, the snuggliest little mouse would climb into her bed without making a noise or a peep. Look at that. Is that Squeakers? Oh, look at it. Now, it may sound quite silly, but this mouse, he really loved to be very warm. And so, in Ari's armpit, he would get snuggled up and stay there until the morn. Oh, look at him. He's going in the armpit. That's so great. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. When Ari didn't sleep in her bed, the mouse was sad, cold, and lonely and such. He would try very hard to sleep there without her, but just missed Ari too much. Oh, look at little Squeakers. You guys see him? He's so sad. Oh. Now, one night, Ari got up from her bed to sneak in with her mom and her dad. But the mouse was asleep in her armpit still. Oh my gosh, this could be bad. Up. You know what? I'm going to stop it right there. I don't want to read the whole book. I would love to. I would love to. But you guys are going to have to go to Dead Star Press and pick up your copy so you can find out what happens at the end of Ari and the Armpit Mouse. I'm telling you, it's a really fantastic story. I loved what I read. In fact, you know what? In fact, I want to do a little bit of something. Let's get out of here so I can hide what I'm showing. So we did that. Sorry, guys. I'm like looking over my show notes and stuff and da-da-da-da-da. Since I've got to like make this over here and there. No, I didn't do this right. Let's get glove on because since we finished Joseph Newcomer's story, I've got an idea rolling in my head. In fact, it's already rolled in there, but we've only got enough time, so I think I'm going to have to do it the fast way. So here is my pencil. We're going to do a little drawing. And what I'd like to know is something. I got to draw something. Let's see. Wait a minute. I think I know. In fact, let's bring it up. Let's bring it up right here. Ooh. What I've got is Procreate on. And what I did was I did a little drawing of Squeakers. Yes. It's already done. I wanted to start from, the very beginning, but kind of running out on time. I've been on for over 2 hours. So what we're going to do is, you know what I could do is I can share a quick video so you guys could see the process. Oh, look at that. So I had to do a little bit of feet, nose, colors. You know what? That's where we got. So right now, what I'm going to do is, we're going to finish this off. What I'm going to do is join those. What I'm going to do is we're going to roll down the opacity. We're going to bring that down so I can do some inking. We got to ink Squeakers. Okay? We got to ink them. So let's start with a new layer. And this is going to be my inking layer. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to ink this. Let's see. Let's first start off. I need to see what kind of thickness. Did you guys see that? That's not very thick. Nope. I need a bigger size. Let's see. How about that? Nope. I want it bigger. There we go. I think that will work. Now, I'm going to do a little flipperoo. Canvas. Let's flip this and let's start it off. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start off with right here this ear. We're going to start off with this ear. And from there, what I really should have started off with was the body. But it's okay. It's okay. So, get this ear down. Then, where are we going to go here? Nope. That was a fantastic interview. I'm telling you. Joe is a fantastic guy. Oh, and I just messed that up. I've seen him post on his socials about him going to the comic book store with his daughter. It's just amazing. Just amazing. The time, energy that he puts in. Because his daughter's gonna have a really good life. That's just what I think. And she's got some amazing ideas because I think she helped out with this story. Well, I think Joe started off with telling her the story of Squeakers and how she needed to go to bed because Squeakers needed a place to sleep. Let's see. Let's bring this up over here. No. Bear with me, everybody. This is the first time I'm doing a live stream and doing art at the same time. Now, it's kind of rough because I've got the microphone, but then I can't have the art, or I should say my iPad directly below it. But this is okay. We make do with make do, and make do. Exactly. Makes sense, right? Not. Nope, I don't like that one. But I thought you guys... Nope. You guys should really go to Joe's website and pick up a copy of Ari and the Armpit Mouse. I did finish it. He did give me permission to read the whole thing, but I don't want to give it all away. I think the story is so good that you guys got to go pick up a copy yourself. You got to. And links are in the show notes. Links are also in the live chat as well. So if you're here, take a look. Uh-oh. Well, we got that. Let's see. What else? What else are we going to do here? What do you guys think I should work on? Maybe the ear in the background. Let's do that. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no. See, the fun thing about doing art, digital art, is this. Going backwards. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is so fantastic, except when you're doing a panel at a Comic-Con and you're drawing on a whiteboard and you make a wrong mark and you try to tap on nothing because you think it's going to take away that brushstroke. Yeah. So, let's do this. No. What we're going to do is this. Mr. Perfection here has an idea. I created a new layer. Now I'm going to go up. And, ooh, that was it. That was it, guys. Nope. Let's redo this. No. Oh, I'm like making weird sounds. Blah. So here we go. We got to get this ear down. Oh, it's in the background. How's that look? Looking at the line weight. Let's go ahead and delete this. Ooh, let's erase all that. Now, look at that. See? They are on two different layers, but now I'm going to merge it down. So now it's into one layer. Don't know if you guys hear that because I'm not close to. Oh, we will actually do that little trick again. I'm going to do this for the body. For the body. Oh, I'm on erase. That looks pretty good, actually. Let's delete. Oops. Oh my goodness, he looks so awesome! Ah! All right. Stop it, Solder. Focus, focus, focus. Yeah, I need to. Let's go ahead and we're going to do another layer. Oops, wrong one. We're going to do these little arms. Oh, how do I want to approach this? Ugh. Let's get dangerous. I want that a little thicker. There we go. Perfect. Yes. Yes. Whenever I do something that I like, it's
Excelsior.
yes, I'm happy. Oh, yes. When I do something right. Hold on. Let's rework that. So Squeakers is absolutely adorable. I need a little Squeakers at my, well, as a pet. Maybe as a pet. But I don't need mice in my walls. Just kidding. Maybe. Okay, I was going to flip this. There we go. Let's go ahead. Nope. It's so funny. Nope. There we go. But I want it a little bit thicker. That is way better. Let's do this. Go ahead. And looks like I do have some comments. Looks like, oh my gosh, your Squeakers is so adorable. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mad Hotter. And this is great. Thanks so much for having me on. A wonderful reading of the book as well. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. And I'm loving your Squeakers. Rock on. Thank you. Yes. I think I had a fun time reading Ari and the Armpit Mouse. I love reading. I really do. I love reading. I hope that parents will hopefully show the reading to some of their kids. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go back. We're going to continue. We're working on finishing this off. I'm sorry. Like I'm talking over here because this is where my iPad is. Let's do this. We're going to delete that and that. Look at that. Woo! Looky! I'm loving him. I love it. And in fact, I kind of wonder, Joe, is the real Ari watching? I've got to know. Oops, I clicked on that. I didn't mean to do that. I've got to know because I've got to know her opinion of this Squeakers. Is he any closer to what he looks like? Because I think, oh, I don't like that. Oh, what I think is Andy Carrion did a phenomenal job on the art in this book. I'm telling you. Look him up. His fantasy stuff is amazing. Amazing. Let's see. Next, I want to work on his feet. I think he needs to have feet. So let's join up all this. There we go. Let's see. Oh, looks like I need a new layer. Let's get this. Sweet, because it's got to have feet. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Something like that. Oops. And something like this. Oh no. How about I have an idea? Nope. That didn't work. I go over and over until I like what I see. Sometimes it takes a while, and it's okay. It's all right. Let's go ahead and draw. Ooh. Oh, man, that one was good. Well, we're going to just have to go with that one. We're going to have to do this. Let's do a little bit of erase. Oh, that is a big eraser. Whoa. Watch out for that mammer jammer. All right. Well, ugh. Here comes the perfectionist side of me. I'm looking at this spot. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. What are we going to do? We got to get out of here. Let's do that. That is fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, in the story, there's some interesting stuff that happens after where I left off. You gotta pick up that book. You gotta pick it up. I'm telling you. I think Joe would greatly appreciate it. And I think Ari would love it for everybody to pick up her story. In fact, you know what? You got to go to Joseph D. Newcomer, his release party. You got to go there. I'm going to be there. And I keep on, Ari's sleeping. You have to show her tomorrow. You're going to have to. And hopefully she does love it. I really hope so. I mean, this is her character and yours. And I hope I'm doing it justice. The other thing is this. You know what? I felt a little self-conscious about doing this because in ways, this is somebody else's art. Like, it's Andy Carrion. And I don't know. Here I am. I'm drawing one of the drawings that, not drawings, but drawing a character that he helped create. And so I'm a little self-conscious because it's like, am I doing it justice? But Andy's a great guy. I think I need to get him on. What do you guys think? Andy Carrion. We need to get him on the show. What do you guys think? There we go. Let's do that. This is what we're going to do. Oh, that was so good. Just talking with, oh, shoot. I thought that was swell talking with Joe. We talked about him and his family. I'm telling you, he's really great. He's a really great guy. Seeing him with his daughter, it's so adorable. Just seeing it. I was right beside him at Free Comic Book Day, and there's a lot of love. He's a great dude, and I'm just thankful that he came on, that he said yes, because he could have said no. Now, I need to do something that I normally do, which is sticking my tongue out while I draw. I tend to do that way too much. Oops. Looks like we got a comment. Definitely doing it justice. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm trying. I think Andy's is way, way better. I think it's always great fun to get creative minds together. That is very true. I think when creative minds come together, there's magic. Honestly, I really do believe in that. Let's go ahead. We pretty much got them all there. Let's get this nose. There's something about this nose. I don't know. The nose knows. But did someone laugh? Just kidding. Let's get this nose. I want it to be perfect, but perfection is okay when it doesn't come your way. Let's give this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, spaghetti-ouch. What we're going to do is we're going to just fill this in. Oh my gosh.
No!
Just kidding. It's still there. I think I had everybody faked out there. Oh my gosh, he just deleted his whole art. Oh. No, what I need to do is pretty much I need to join up, merge this down there, then I can do that same trick. Boom. Got a nose. That nose. Shucky darn. Let's redo that. Well, actually, no. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys a little trick. I'm going to manipulate. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm going to manipulate this so I can get it the way that I really want it. Let's see. We're going to warp it. We're going to warp it. Warp it. There we go. Actually, that is actually way better. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I'm liking that nose now. Yeah, the nose knows. Okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to delete this right there. Then we're going to merge down. Merge down and merge. Hold on. Merge down. Merge down. No. Where did that come from? I think it's from one of my wife's movies. And there, we got a laugher. We got a laugher. Yeah. So let's do this. We're going to fill in this nose. I like it now. It's a little awkward, but it's going to have to do. I'm hearing people. People are out here. My family really wants me to hurry up. I know. I'll get there. So we've got a nose. We do have a nose. But what is this? What is this image missing here? Can you guys tell me? Looks like Joseph said, every character deserves as many variant covers as possible. I love that. There's one of the biggest things about comic books. That is so true. I love variant covers, especially when it's when it comes from one of my favorite artists. So I know what we got to do. I've got to finish this bad boy up. That's what I've got to do. So we're going to do this. That looks pretty dang good. Yeah. We got to do the eyeball. Merge down. Now, it's like this. You guys saw that, right? It's a tool. Some people don't deem that as art, what I just did. I'll do it again. I'm having the program help me create a very perfect circle. Very, 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 very perfect. So perfect that it can do this. And do that. That looks pretty decent, right? So, what I would like to do is we're going to merge this down. We got to hurry. Oh, my poor family. They're like, damn it, hurry up. What we're going to do is, oh, shnikes. Let's do this. We're going to, this is what I want. I want a pencil. A sketch pencil. Yes. Because what we're going to do is, yes, I'm doing it on another layer. I'm going to give a little bit of a highlight right there. Oh, look at that. Yeah. And it's giving it a little bit of a texture to it. There we go. Look at that. I like that. That looks awesome. That looks so cool. Now next, what? Oh, okay. What I would like to do is something like this. Look at that. Yes. Yes.
What?
I said yes. That's what I said. Do a highlight right there. Oh, wow. Look at Squeakers. Look at him. He's so adorable. Look at him. Man, I'm all into this. Look. I think it's great. In fact, you know what? I forgot something. I'm going to have to hide this real quick. Do apologize, everybody. I'm going to have to hide this because I completely forgot about something. I'm like getting distracted. I do apologize, everybody. I'm trying to stay focused. Squirrel. I should say squeakers. Let's do this. What I'm going to do is I need to find something like, oh, Nikes. Oh, you know what? I should have done this.
Holy shnikes.
Yes. Here we go. Let's go back. There's the art. So that's what I needed to do. Paste. I'll do that right there. Sorry, it's just a little secret. Here we go. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back, y'all. Bring it back, y'all. Here we go. You guys remember the whoop? There it is. Really good track. Really good track. Whoop, there it is. All right. So let's go through and I think we need to color this. I think we need to color it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do some colors. We're going to put a layer down there. That's going to be my color layer. What we're going to do is we're going to reference this. We're going to reference it. So all I have to do is I think I did that right. Yeah. We're going to drag and drop this color right in. Did you guys see that? Did you? Do I have to go backwards? Do I really have to go backwards? Okay. What I did was I just did this. I took the color and I'm just going to add it into the character. That's it. That's all I'm going to do with that. So what I would like to do is, we're going to do a color. Let's see. I want to color his ear. His ear. We're going to do this. I'm going to add a new layer. I know I'm like taking up way longer than well, good thing I did the art now because, man, I don't know what would have happened. Let's do this. We're going to do that. And then we're going to do this. And I think that's it. But, here's another thing. I've got to take the ink layers and not reference them. So I can do this. So I can just drag and drop. Then I can go through. I'm going to take off some of that. Whoa. Oh, yes. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm loving it. McDonald's sounds so good. Joe talking about all that good food. Joseph D. Newcomer talking about all that good food with Shawnee Poo having an empty stomach. This is not kosher. It is kind of kosher, but it is. All right. Let's do this, that. Okay. Oh, guys, I completely forgot about that part back there. Darn it. Let's do this. We're going to highlight that. I need to reference this layer again. Reference. That sounded like a frog. Reference. Reference. I'm kind of debating on, should I just do this color for the feet? Because I'm looking at Andy's amazing work, and he's got the color all around. So this is what I think. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to do exactly what Andy did, because Andy is a phenomenal artist. Plus, he worked at U-Haul or something like that. That just blows my mind. It just does. I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe it. I forgot his tail. That is oh, shnikes. And then I was on the wrong layer. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I was on the wrong layer. That's a one thing you got to pay attention with digital art. What layer are you? So I gotta do the tail. I guess I gotta do the tail. We've got to make that happen. It was the opacity was down so much that I completely forgot about it. Let's get this tail done. So, Evelyn. Oh, that is actually perfect. It would have been if I would be able to do this. There we go. I think that's perfect. Perfect. Not really, but what we're going to do is we're going to do this. I want to flip it. Flip it. Flip it good. Everyone's like, yeah. We're going to do this. We're on the right layer. There we go. I think that's good. I think that's a good enough tail. No, it's not. Dang it. Oh my gosh. Oh my. The joys of being Sean Sauter. That is, we'll work with that. I'm gonna have to. I can't be perfect. I can't be perfect. Unfortunately, the show has to go on. So now that I have the flats done, flats are done, flats are finished. I want to do. Oh shoot. Does I? Oh no. Excuse me. Oh, what I wanted to do was this. Yeah, this was different. Let's do that. We are going to actually do this. I wanted to, oops. What I would like to do is like that. Perfect. Okay. So then we're going to do this. Perfect. And then da, 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 da. Did I make it? Oh no. There we go. Okay. I should be able to fill this in. Reverse. No, what am I doing? Oh. That's what I was doing. I was messing up. Okay, let's take this home. Let's take it home. Let's bring it home, Sada. Woo! Nope. Oh my gosh. There we go. That is perfect right there. Oh, look at him. That ain't too bad. All right, let's go. And we're going to do shadows. So we're going to do multiply. What I would like to do, so I don't have to do a bunch of deleting, is I can actually select this. Next up, let's do a mask. Now all I've got to do is, oops. Let's see. Let's do some shadows. Any more comments? Oh. Oh, my heart. Yes. Hotter. Yes, the mouse needs a tail. I know. I saw that. So let's go ahead and I want to do this. No. There we go. We're going to do some shadow work. Squeaker needs some shadows, right? You gotta have some shadows. Like, even Peter Pan has a shadow. Or he did, till it ran away. Wonder what he did to deserve that. So, I like that. Let's do this. Oh, that's what I should have done. Look at that. Yeah. No. Ooh, there we go. I wonder, am I on the right layer? I must see. Here we go. Let's do this. I want to bring this one down. Here we go. Sorry about all this, guys. Like, uh-oh. Oh, okay. I'm up to date with everything. I'm just trying to make sure. We're going to do this. I would like to select. We're going to select this. I want to select it. Automatic. Boom. Now let's go back into here. And what I would like to do is pretty much do some shadow work in here. Here we go. Let's do that. Perfect. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Yes. Look at him. I'm digging it. What about you guys? Oh. Let's see. We got that done. I'm just checking my notes because I'm a little bit of a worry wart. What I see is Squeaker's going to have a little bit of shadow down there. And a little bit of a shadow. Oops. And a little bit of a shadow right there. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Oh, no. What we've got to do is, I forgot. Yep. We've got to do that. Yeah. This is so cool. Look at this. Yes, I love it. I do. Wow. Not too bad, Solder. All right. What I'll do a few more things, and I think we'll call it quits. We'll call it quits. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. Cookies and milk. I promise. I like that. That looks pretty good. My nose. My itchy nose. Because nose. Let's do that. Good job. Like, I think we're going to just call it quits there. I don't think I'm going to do any highlights to it. I think it's pretty dang good. Other than, you know what? There's something that I'm noticing that it's missing. There's something. Let me bring this layer on top of everything. Did you guys see it? I know exactly what it's missing. Let's go and do this. Oh, my tummy is talking. I need to hurry up and get done with this. So, this is what I noticed. Well, that's the wrong color. That's the first thing. But Squeaker needs a smile. Because I think everyone needs a smile. Everyone deserves a smile. Just like Squeakers. There we go. Goodness gracious. There we have it. Guys, I think we have our Squeakers. In fact, you know what? Boom! We've got Squeakers. Yes! This is fantastic. I am so happy because I did my second live stream. I got to let you guys know what happened to the first live stream. I got to update you guys with what the status is for the book. We brought in an amazing, and I mean an amazing author, Joseph D. Newcomer, and we got to read his book. Not the whole thing. Again, go out there. Go pick it up, guys. You guys got to pick it up now. Link in the bio. And last but not least, we got to do one of my favorite things. We got to draw. And you know what? We're not done yet. Every artist has to put their autograph on there. And that's what the S is for. That is it. That is Squeakers, everybody. Yes. Yes, I did it. Oh my goodness. I got done. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. This was wild. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take that off. Oops. That was Squeakers. I mean, I think that would be a cool shirt. I mean, I could probably send it over to Joseph, see if maybe he wants it. Never know. So we are finally. I'm gonna take off my glove. In fact, I'm not just gonna take off this glove. I'm gonna take a drink real quick of this Mountain Dew. Thank you, Mad Hotter. Wonderful. Mwah! Yes. Magnificent. With that face, too. With that face. So, now that we're all done, I've got to say, thank you guys for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. And I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who chatted and supports the show. I really appreciate you guys. In fact, instead of that, let's do a
Excelsior.
you guys made the show. Thank you so much. Be sure to like the video on the way out, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Go buy Ari and the Armpit Mouse. You gotta go pick this up. Link is in the bio. go if you're in the Phoenix area this coming Saturday, head over to Joseph D. Newcomer's book release. It sounds like it's going to be a fun time. More than likely you'll run into me. So you got to definitely do that. I'll be live in the next couple weeks. I'm thinking maybe a month because I really need to focus on stuff. I'm not too sure on the date, but I do have an interview lined up. It's going to be a really good interview. It's going to be with Scott Cirkland. Scott Cirkland from Cirkworks. He says he's gonna come on, so I'm excited to have him on. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Like the video on your way out, and remember to actually, let me get this set up before it's so embarrassingly bad. Like the video on the way out, and just remember, keep dreaming, keep learning so you can get those dreams, and most importantly, keep smiling. We'll talk to you guys next time.
All right, Fuji, let the audience know to like and subscribe. Oh, and also tell them to sign up for our newsletter. That way they can stay up to date with the Shawnee Poo book release.